Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages and genders, welcome back to a brand new episode of Take on the Cheap. My name is Jeremy Kaiser, and I am unbiased. So just a quick announcement, I am bringing Gambling Addiction back. The reason we haven't done a Gambling Addiction video in a long time is because they're expensive. The videos where my wife scratches off the lottery tickets, so we are bringing that back. It's just a matter of having the money to do it because it costs $50 to $100 to produce an episode of that, and we don't always have that. Might be a good reason to start a Patreon, I don't know. Take on the Cheap is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. I am branching out though and trying new things on the channel. I have booked a band to come on the channel, and I'll be reacting to their music video and doing a interview-podcast with them. I don't want to make it sound like it's set in stone because anything can happen. The reaction video is definitely going to happen, but I just want to let y'all know that Tech on the Cheap is here to stay. If that's what you subscribe to this channel for, I'm going to keep them coming, but I am going to do different things. Anyway, today, do you ever get in line at Dollar General or Family Dollar and you see the gadgets behind the cashier? They're $10, $15, $20 a piece, and you think to yourself, man, if I knew that wasn't going to be complete trash, I would probably cough up a little bit of money to get it just to see if it even works. But even if it did work at that price point, it can't last forever, right? Well, that's kind of what this channel is built around. Let's find out if this $15 LCD flip screen from Dollar General does what it claims to do for $15, and if it's worth buying and if it's for you. I can honestly say before this review even starts, I got my money's worth. This thing has surprises in it. Quality is about what you would expect, but it does have surprises. It has a lot of things I like and a lot of things I don't like. Let's switch to an overhead cam and do an unboxing real quick, and we'll get straight into it, okay? Alright. So, I do apologize in advance if the camera's just a little bit blurry, but, or shakes when I hit the table. I'm trying to find a stand that does overhead view. Until then, I have to put up with this, so I do apologize in advance for that. But in order to record this video, it kind of has to be shot this way because I gotta show the screen on this. Let's go over what the box has to say. A 2.2 screen resolution at a 270 degree ratio. This thing is really far-sighted. I want to show footage on it later, but this thing is really far-sighted. Night vision was one of the pleasant surprises I found in this. It says the resolution is at 720p, even though there's an option in it for 1080p. I'll let you be the judge whether it actually records at 1080p, but it's not widescreen. Loop recording, I'm not sure what they meant by this, but it does break up the footage. Like when you record for 2 hours straight, it breaks up everything in what seems like 10-minute intervals. And then it's got the wide angle lens, which I'm going to let you be the judge of that. Like I said, this thing seems to be really far-sighted. There's all the stuff that it comes with. That's realistically what it looks like, but I'm going to go through the menu with you all. It's interesting. Night vision actually works. It's just, it's not vision. It's nothing special, not what you would expect, but it does work in night vision, surprisingly. So here's all the contents that comes inside. Here's the stand. Suction that to whatever. I suctioned mine to the windshield. I was expecting the system to overheat, but it surprisingly did well. I haven't used this yet. I don't have any reason to believe that it won't work. And then we got the camera itself. Now I'm telling you what, guys, after about 20 times opening that flap, it broke. The screen still works. Everything's still wonderful. It's just the screen will not stay folded up. I actually had it going into stealth mode until it did this, because I think there's a little sensor in there that lets the motherboard know that the screen is open. When I first opened this up, you could hit the menu and the mode buttons together and it would go into stealth mode, meaning the screen wouldn't push. And I was expecting the battery to last a little bit longer in that mode. Here's the battery. You have to install the battery yourself, which is not a headache, not bad at all. It comes with instructions, but let me tell you, people, they are very vague. If you ever see computer language, just like That's what you're looking at here. You have to guess what it's talking about unless you're savvy to electronics like this. Once again, we only paid $15 for this baby, so I'm not expecting like illustrations or anything, but that would have been nice. Here's the charging cable that it comes with. It's still very old school mini USB. So obviously you put this on by screwing it in. You can make adjustments. Why not? That's how I had it set up on my windshield underneath my cell phone holder. So let's boot this baby up. Oh yeah, makes you want to dance. So here's what we got. So right now I currently have it cranked down on VGA, and for all those that are not savvy to what VGA means, it's 480p. This record button is your OK button, or your enter button rather. So it gives you the option to go up to 1080p. I did record some footage. I'll show that later on. Timestamp on, which of course shows you the date and time on the screen as you're recording. I never did use this feature, motion detect on, because I wanted it to record for endless hours at a time. I wanted it to record for at least 8 hours. Actually got some stats that will show how long the battery actually lasts, but you're going to have to keep this thing plugged in to an auxiliary output to keep it on and running. When by default it's set to 5 minutes, so I would think it records 5-minute intervals. I'm not sure, not 100%. Currently had audio off because I was trying to save battery or see how far I can get, see how long I can record on a device via just battery power. And a screensaver I just didn't fool with. So this thing supports up to a 32 gig SD card. I tried to throw 128 gig in it. Now it did recognize it, but it wouldn't allow you to record. I will display that here in just a second. I switched that. It's by default 60 hertz. And I switched that to 50 hertz, trying to extend the battery life as much as possible. There's where the date was a little bit of a beast to put in, because God bless. I mean, it really, and it goes by military time too, so that's awesome. USB hard drive version lookup, and this is the version that my device is working on. Now you can go into mode. I'm trying to remember what mode did. Oh yeah, it's you can take pictures of it. You can record just audio, which I do not recommend. The audio on this device is not great, but I'm going to show an example of that later on. And it has no card, so let's get a card. I'm going to jam the 128 gig in there and show you all what it does. So here is one of my rather favorite, more inexpensive. I got the Samsung Evo 128 gig. Put that into an adapter. These doors are easy to open up, surprisingly. So here's what it does when you put 128 gig in it. So it recognizes it. It isn't saying there's no SD card right there like it normally does, but when you go to record, nothing at all. So let's go get a normal SD card and throw in it. I got a 16 gig laying around and it works. So here's the 16 gig card. It takes up to 32, but I don't have one on hand. And I thought for sure the 128 gig would work, so I didn't bother buying one. I did have this one laying around the house though. And it is a little bit of a bitch to get it in there. So when you boot it up and you open the screen up, it starts recording automatically, for the exception of this current time. So when you boot it up, it immediately starts recording. It boots up and boots down pretty quick. So it immediately starts recording. And that's what it looks like when it's recording. And you hit this button, change to night vision, which works surprisingly well. But we're really lit up here at the moment. But that's the fundamental basics. That's the quality overall. It does feel light and frail. I'm going to assume that's the mic. It's definitely a speaker. But yeah, that might be the mic. I don't know. But it's not overly complicated, but it gets the job done. And of course, to stop recording, you hit the record button and it stops recording. But anyway, let's take a look at some footage that I captured on this, and I'll come back and let you know the stats that I found and tell you who I think this device is for and if it's worth buying. So here we have the settings completely maxed out at 1080p, 60 hertz. The battery lasts exactly 1 hour and 6 minutes at max settings. And as you can see, it is terrible. It reminds me of the cameras in the old school flip phones, is what it reminds me of. You're not getting the best here, not for $15, far from it. It's not widescreen. It looks 4:1 ratio to me. It is in high def. This is high def, however, it's not superior high def. There is waves in the video. I don't know if that's due to compression or the heat, but like I mentioned earlier, the camera didn't bother to overheat. And yeah, here's a nice little journey, capturing it at max settings, audio on the whole 9 yards. Enjoy a little bit of the footage, and we'll come back, and I got something interesting to point out. So here we're getting a little bit of like this sonar sound in the background. It's I don't know if the noise is the frequency is emitting from the device itself, or it's picking it up from something else. But this is recorded at the end of the battery life. It just gets worse as static starts coming through the screen, and it just gets worse, and then it just Y2Ks, man. It just completely crashes to earth, and shutting the video down. And but this is 1 hour and 6 minutes in. Not bad for maxed out settings. If I had it plugged straight into auxiliary, I'm sure it would last decades if I had the memory to do it. But yeah. And here we are with the lowest, absolute lowest settings possible. With these settings, no audio. I had hertz set down to 50, recording at VGA 480p, and it still looks good. It looks like a soap opera, you know, that glossy look on everything. But I got 6 hours of battery life out of this. A little over 6 hours, but 6 hours rounded off of battery life out of this mode. So this is the way to go for casual users. Now I need something that's going to get me through 8-hour days, because I'm a delivery driver and I like to prove that I've done my job in case something comes up. But that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, if you just want to capture the moment, you don't need anything special. I don't think you can actually get a picture of a license plate or anything. I don't think it's that clear. I haven't really tried. I haven't noticed. But yeah, enjoy the view, and then I'll show you what night vision looks like. So here we are in a completely pitch black room, and I even flicker it on and off. I switch out of night vision, switch it back on just to show, but it's pitch black. Right here I switch it off, then I switch it back on, and then when I turn over here and look at the skull, it really shows right here. It really shows off what this thing is capable of. So yeah, guys, that's my review. Who is this for? For me, I was going to look into body cams, and the price on those are outrageous, even for the cheapest. So this is kind of what I'm using on the job, and I bought this with the intent of it getting me through until I can afford something a little bit higher quality. So that might be who this device is for. This definitely isn't going to get you long term. If I get a year out of this, I will be completely shocked. This is for someone who is on a budget and needs a device like this just to get them through until they can afford to buy something a little bit higher quality. This will get the job done ultimately. I will be using this for probably the next 6 months or a year if it doesn't die completely on me. I find it pretty neat. For only $15, you can get a device that does all this. I mean, if you wanted to wow me, throw Wi-Fi in it or Bluetooth, that would be neat. But for what you're getting for the price, you really just cannot beat this device. I would love to see if they make a cheaper version of this. I would try it out. If anybody knows, they make a cheaper version of one of these, let me know. Leave a comment down in the description. I love devices like this that I love little cheap gadgets like this, trying them out. Yeah, let me know down in the comments below if there's a device, a little gadget, something in the budget bin down at Walmart that you wonder if it works as advertised. And I'll be more than happy to pick up my own and find out if it's worth your time or not. As long as you keep your expectations low, this device does do what it's advertised that it will do. Surprisingly. But yeah, I'm impressed. I cannot diss it because it's only $15. You're getting what you pay for. Until next time, guys, goodbye.